Right, let's see if we can do this. Nope. There's Tom Duffy. I'm on chapter 48 of 50 of Down and Dirty 4. There's Mr. Frank. So I have this chapter and two more chapters to write. But the last chapter is always like kind of a wrap up chapter, you know? So I'm not too worried about that one. Look, these are the exciting chapters here, though. So I just got to knock these off. I wrote a lot this weekend. Friday I did 1,800 words. Saturday I did 2,200, and Sunday I did 2,000 words. So if I get another couple thousand words, I probably need about 3,500 words, maybe 4,000. So I should be able to knock this off today and tomorrow. You look like a Cuban revolutionary, which is what I wanted to look like. So I'm glad you noticed. I was trying to be a little subtle with my cosplay. I finally shaved after I don't know how long. It was actually last time I shaved was before Tom and Jennifer got here. So it was it's been like I don't know a month maybe. Shave Rosamund exactly. So I can't stand long enough in the shower or at the sink to shave. So today I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this, and I did it. It's actually why I'm a couple minutes late because it just took me forever. Once I was like, oh, I'm going to shave my head. And then I'm like, yeah, tomorrow. Maybe later. Maybe I'll just shave like a part of it later today. I'll do like I'll leave like that, just that tuft of hair in the front. Like the missing link. But, because I have an event tomorrow night. I will be at the Highlands Library in Jacksonville, Florida. If you were here, come hang out. 7 o'clock. Watching a 1 hour baseball movie, and then I will do a talk about the Negro Leagues in Jacksonville back in the day. Excited for that. I think they said it should be I don't know, 30, 35 people, something like that. So I'm excited for it. Looking forward to that, getting out of the house. Tom, do you know if you're going to come with me on Friday yet? We're doing brunch with Goodwin, and Andrea in Yulee at the cafe. And I will come pick you up about 9:30. We got to be there about 10. Then you can either come back here and bring your laptop, come back here and get some writing in, or I will drive you home before I got to go on Twitch. But obviously, if you're here, then you can hang out while I'm doing Twitch. So, up to you. At some point in your life, you got to leave that attic. Julie from Yulee. I don't know any Julie in Yulee. I wish I did though, because I would call her Julie from Yulee all the time until she was just fucking annoyed, and she'd be like, "Stop calling me that." When I lived in Ormond Beach and I was working at J.C. Penney's, one of the other managers, she thought it was hysterical to call me Armand from Ormond. Yeah, that never got old. Shut up. Of course, then one of the other managers also didn't like her. And then I would say, what the hell was her name? Shit, I don't remember what her name was. I think her name was Brenda. But I would say to him, not to her, I would say, oh, that's funny, like Brenda from fucking Whoretown. He thought that was hysterical. I mean, dark chocolate. It's good for you. I mean, the cafe is it's a pretty good, but I think a couple other people are coming. They got some pretty good food there. Their French toast is really good, except I'm not supposed to be eating French toast. Nope. Spelled words right. Jennifer made French toast yesterday. I stuck to just bacon. That's good. French toast is my favorite, though. My absolute favorite. I'm eating better. I'm not eating great. I'm eating better. I'm not eating as much. I'm not snacking. I mean, except for this dark chocolate. There's Nicholas in. So, yeah. So there you go. The baseball thing should be pretty cool to do tomorrow. I was honored they invited me. I'm drinking herbal tea. I'm not herb. Instead of a second cup of coffee. I've had chips, but the bag lasts 3 to 4 days instead of one sitting. Yeah, and that's important. Like I bought my wife that big box of Valentine's Day chocolate, and we literally had like 3 pieces each every night, and then that was it. And it lasted us like 3, 4 days instead of let's just eat this all right now. She was also like, this is strawberry cream filled. I don't want that. You can have that. Oh, this is caramel. I don't like that. You can have that. So I basically got all the ones she didn't want, which is fine because I like all of those. Are you guys settled in now that the furniture came? Yeah, they actually got furniture. I mean, they've had furniture. They just haven't been able to sit on it or do anything with it for 3 weeks. Remember, Tom, we still got your the other mattress here. Tom says, "Yeah, I've got all my stuff put away. The rest of the boxes are hers and a ridiculous amount of clothes." Yeah, women have a lot of clothes. Women. I've been picturing Tom and Jess living in an attic like Anne Frank. This changes everything. Jess called Tom Anne Frank because he never leaves. Apparently, never leaves the attic up there. I'm going to have to leave the house twice this week. It's insane. Insane. I'd like to write 2,000 words today total. And as soon as I finish this, hopefully today or tomorrow, then I'm going to do the edits for mine and Tom's third book. Send it off to him so he can do the formatting. Send it back to me so I can put it up and be well ahead. A couple weeks. Everybody had a good weekend. I'm not a big fan of that herbal tea, I'm going to be honest with you. But you got to drink something. You get sick of water. There's tons and tons of water. I'm going to do some research right now. Got to look up a map of Vegas. Vegas, baby, Vegas. Ah, it's over there. Okay, so it's... You have to go east. East, baby, east. You always say, I'm going to be honest with you, so I always assume you're lying when you don't add that statement. Pretty much. My dad's favorite line, which I will eventually use in one of my short story collection titles, is he would say two things. He would say, not for nothing. That was the one he would say all the time. And he would say, all kidding aside, or all kidding aside. That way you knew he was serious. But that usually always means that all kidding aside meant he was just going to lie about something again. Tom Dove said apparently a certain podcast was the information for all podcasts that came after it, and said podcasts could not come back to the same name. It would take away all the... Yeah. I read that too, and I was like, why am I even going to comment? I was in writing mode yesterday. I was in a good mood. I was like, why am I going to do that? Yeah, no. He created the concept, even though there's hundreds of ones that came before him doing the exact same thing, hundreds that were around the same time he was, getting way more listeners than him. Let's be honest, because I saw the numbers. I know the numbers. He wasn't getting. There wasn't thousands or tens of thousands. There were literally hundreds, if you were lucky. So calm down. Now you got me all riled up, Tom. Thanks. Yeah, not. Just ridiculous. But at least he's getting Todd on as one of his, special guests. Todd, who hated him 2 years ago. I talked a bunch of shit about him. But then realized, ooh, I can get something for this because the magic hand of BK will rise me to the top like it's done for everyone else. Except I don't know of anybody else. Welcome to the Armand Rant Corner, aka He Speaks the Truth. Yeah, I'll speak the truth, Ruth. We watched the first 3 episodes of Reacher last night. And here's my pro take. Here's my speaking the truth, my rant. I read this book. And I already know what's coming on. And I hope they changed things from the book. Or else I already know the whole friggin' series. So they dropped the first 3 episodes Friday. And I guess a new episode every Friday. And so I liked it. It was very good. Anthony Michael Hall is, you would have never known back in the day, like, oh yeah, 30, 40 years from now, he's going to end up being like one of those creepy bad guys in every freaking thing, everything he does. So it was interesting. Pray her telling the truth, and it hurts. I liked it, but there's definitely less humor in this season so far. Yeah, there are a few handful of jokes, but not like in the past. I agree. I'm hoping that gets better as we go along. The giant bad guy, though, I'm like, oh, look, it's Christopher Triana, uh, 2 feet taller and with a lot of muscles. And that woman's accent, oh my God, she right from the beginning, she started talking with that really, really, really super thick, Southie Boston accent, and Shelley was like, "There's no way that's her real accent." I said, "It can't be." I said, "But she is laying it on." I said, "This is an actress who went to Boston and hung out in the bars for like 2 straight weeks and got down like the worst annoying accent she could find. Yeah, it's really really bad." Oh, let's change to no ma forever. Like, stop. As the same thing. I looked her up. She's from England. Yeah, I mean her accent is her accent is not even. It's just really really over the top bad. Like, I would imagine at some point somebody would have said, "Hey, can you tone this down a little bit? Like, you're doing the fake Boston accent. You know, you're doing the accent that Ben Affleck does in the Dunkin' commercials when he's trying to be ironic Boston. Like, that's literally what you're doing." Or, get somebody from, I don't know, from Boston or from Maine. Get your cousin from Boston. JC could have done that part. Yeah, it's pretty obnoxious. She also, which drives my wife nuts, she is also the tough girl. She got to be right in your face right from the go. She and I'm like, "Oh, stop. Just stop." But so far so good. I liked it. Then we were watching. I like watching the show where the Mexicans keep calling it Gringo Hunter, where the team goes into a reality TV crap. They go in and they find fugitives that have crossed into Mexico for years or whatever, and then they're arresting people. And then it's I like that show. Watched several episodes of that already. Oh, I'm actually leaving the house on Thursday as well because I got to go to the specialist for this friggin' sciatica. So it's probably about a 3 the last couple of days. Not bad at all. But I get like all of a sudden out of nowhere, I just got like a sharp pain on it, and I can't stand for too long on like cement or something. Like I made the mistake of trying to help my wife with groceries yesterday. I walked halfway down the sidewalk, and I thought I was going to die. Are we talking about Bill and Ted Face the Music? Yes. Here's a fun fact about me. I've never, ever seen a Bill and Ted movie. Ever. I've never seen a Matrix movie. I've never seen Wayne's World. Or if there were sequels, I've never seen it. The only reason I watched Austin Powers was because my kids watched it 1,000 times until they realized about all the sex jokes in it. There you go. You're learning stuff about me. Big stuff about me. Write this shit down. Somebody write this shit down. go back to this. Let's go back to this page. Sorry. I watched the Gabby Petito doc. It was decent. I think we looked at that, but we've seen that story about, I don't know, 80,000 times already. Like, we tape Dateline, NBC, and 2020, all those. And then literally last night we're like, all right, let's watch one of these. And I would turn around and she'd be like, oh, those are the two girls that killed the other girl in the woods. I've seen that. All right, turn that off. Oh, this is the husband did it. He killed them on the camping trip. Okay. It was like literally like 7 or 8 of them. And just like, whatever. There's some new stuff that hadn't really been talked about. The problem is because we've seen so many investigation discovery shows about every single case of everything 5 different ways. You end up getting the whole freaking picture. The only thing we've seen so far that story that I did not know, I don't know if my wife knew, was the cult where the lady started having all of her followers buy cats. That was an interesting one. We watched that one the other night. Eventually, if there's nothing else to watch, we'll probably circle back to that. There's a couple of thriller ones. It's the Curious Case of. It's that series. The dude in the wheelchair was one of them. The Taya Grace was the first one they did this year. It was one of those. It's some cult thing. I don't know the name of that one. I think that was from last week or the week before. Yeah. I think there's been like 5 or 6 of them. We just watch them in order every week as they drop. We watched the other night. We watched the funeral home one, where they were literally. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Stacking up bodies in a cooler that wasn't even on, like 400 bodies. They were just stacking on top of each other instead of cremating people, instead of burying people. They were just like. We'll watch Bam and the fake orphan dude. Yeah, those are the first 2. Like I said, I think there was also the one where the people wanted custody of the kids from the wife, and they ended up that was a big story. I remember that one. They ended up killing the woman in the courthouse. I think that was the 3rd one. They're interesting. The Bam one was bullshit because they had him on there for like, I don't know, 4 minutes. It wasn't even about him. And the orphan one, they really didn't give you anything new on that one that I didn't already know. The fake orphan dude was lame, and I haven't watched any since, but the funeral home one I want to watch. Yeah, that is a good one. That is Crazy People. Yeah. Now all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I watched Red Sox spring training games in the afternoon. Yankees are on it versus Red Sox at 4 p.m. They moved the game from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So I'll be watching that at 4 p.m. 4:05. I feel like I got something to do tonight, but I have nothing. I literally have nothing to do tonight. I'd like to shave my head, but I don't think that's going to happen. I just would like to get these words in. My goal is to get to the second page on chapter 48 and then second page on chapter 49. 50 is like that wrap up chapter, you know, you just gotta put in there. 67 years later, no. Plus the first three epilogues. Yes, you gotta. I mean, you gotta write. You gotta write those. I wonder if JC ever wrote that book with the first three epilogues, the last three prologues, or something. Which seems funny. Like, or just write the story. Not a big prologue epilogue fan. I'm a big what is it, Kylie Minogue fan, but not epilogue. I think it's finally with an editor. Geez, 4 years later. Maybe we'll get it done. I mean, he's lost all momentum at this point. But whatever. Not my problem. Temperatures should drop on Friday. Frank, how are you doing with your Beers and Fears story? I got to do the edits now. But I figured I probably have time since I don't know if anybody else has written anything. 10,500 words. What do we got to do? 10 to 12, I think. I think I did 10. Should be done by next week. Nice. I don't even know. I haven't even looked at the edits. I don't know what Timmy. I know one thing. He was like, "Oh, I don't like." He's like, He questioned the first sentence is always present tense in that. But then I explained this time thing, blah blah blah, and he's like, "Oh, I figured something was up." Okay, whatever. Oh. Next page, Nixon. Next page. All right. Next tense, Nixon. Next tense. We'll work on this page a little bit. About 10 minutes, I'm out of here. I'm out of here like last year. This is the 80s, and I'm down with the ladies. I got no plans with a man. I mean, Tone Loc was just so way, way ahead of the rest of us. It's unreal. Yeah, this is starting to hurt again too. So. I want to remind everybody to resubscribe or subscribe. I also want to remind everybody to follow me on YouTube. I'm slowly building it up, but man, it is taking forever. I'm like at like 160 followers, I think. And I only need 840 more or so. So follow me along, ladies, gentlemen. Posting up there every day. Got a bunch of coffee I'd ordered. New things. So as soon as those come in, I'll start showing those off as well. Whenever your palm itches, you got to put your hand in your pocket. That means you're getting money. My palm just itched. Rosy palm. Window look. It's raining out, Nick. It's raining. I haven't seen anybody out all weekend. I've been sitting here. I sat here quite a bit. I didn't see anybody out there. I mean, some people out there riding their bikes. Lame. But I did not see my Asian jogging queen or husband. Nothing's going on. There's no wind out there. It's 57 degrees, very cloudy and rainy. Like drizzling right now, just drizzling. And her five, so get it? Rosie Palm and her five sisters. I get it. Yeah, it's different than that. Yeah. Who is this? What is this? Sorry. Clear. I might get to the next page, people. Next page. I keep getting those from people. Yeah, I keep getting them from the, hey, we've been trying to, based on our last 3 emails, hey, Chuck and Armand, we would love to work with, our Mondo Method podcast. I get them like maybe 3 times a week now. And then I get, which is funny too, is because of, I guess they found the old Project Entertainment Network page. So one day I had spam. I had like 40 spam, like all of a sudden, boom. Like I went from like, it said I had 3 spam messages and all of a sudden I had like 40. And I looked and it was literally every single Project Entertainment Network show, including Bazong. And it was basically, hey, we can help you with your SEO for your podcast, blah, blah, blah. And they had basically just sent it all within like, I don't know, a minute of each other. I was like, wow. So I signed up Bazong for it. Figured why not. Is Nick still around? Because I'm going to be honest with you, Nick. I hit another page here. You can see my confusion, right? So I've done about 1,300 words just sitting here. Next page, Nick's in. Next page. I've done 1,300 words in this 55, 60 minutes. So I've done half of. I got like a page left in 48, a page left in 49, and then 2.5 in 50. It's about 4.5 pages. Did you tell them you already hosted Pod in the Form of the Horror Showcast? Excellence. Yeah, they sent me one for that one too. They must have gotten an old one because it was like stuff that we had for like that was connected but never even on the what do you call it? Yeah, like that Patrick McDonough stupid podcasts. Did you get a backotomy yet? No, I'm going Thursday. I have to go to the specialist. And as long as he doesn't say, hey, I'm going to give you a needle or I'm going to give you surgery, we're good. I'm hoping he just says, hey, you're going to start going to physical therapy. And then I'll just do that for the next 100 years. Never get any better. Of course, a shot would probably just clear this all up like it did with my shoulder. I still can't lift heavy things with my shoulder. My shoulder still really, really gets fucking... it just hurts if I lift something heavy. If I lift something like over my head. But I used to not be able to even do that. like wave at people. I just couldn't wave like this. But I still can't lift it. If I lift something like up past my chest, I can feel it. I've never seen back surgery go well for any. Yeah, and that's pretty much everything I'm reading about sciatic is basically like, yeah, don't get surgery, because even if you get surgery because your discs are, I don't know, slipped or fused or whatever they want to call it, within like 3 or 4 years, you're just gonna have to keep repeating it, and so and it's painful and it's. Um, then you got to go to rehab on it anyway. You could just basically just skip that and just start rehabbing it. I've been better with my eating. Not great, but better. Trying to do smaller portions. Trying not to eat fried foods. But I'm also I've been doing the chair exercises every day. And do they physical therapy? Don't do this. I would never do the surgery. I don't want a needle. I'm definitely not getting a fucking surgery. That's that's not even an option. Like if I go to this guy, he's like, "Oh, the only thing we could do is surgery." I'm like, "Hey, well, thanks, I appreciate it. I'll just live with this pain for the next 80 or 90 or 120 years, however long I decide to live." It was the same with the shoulder. Basically, they were like, "We can't. Physical therapy is not going to do anything for you." I was like, "All right, no problem." They're like, "We got to. You do surgery, or you can do." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not a pitcher. I don't want Tommy John surgery." Like we could do a needle, and then that will definitely help. And I'm like, "No." And then Shelly's like, "Yes, needle." I was like, "All right, here's the deal. Don't show me the needle. Don't tell me about the. Don't talk to me at all about the needle. I'm gonna turn this way and talk to my wife about bullshit, and you're gonna come up behind me, and you're gonna you're gonna jab me with the needle, and we're done." And they numbed it. They put the numbing thing on it, and I said to her, "Talk to me about something." She's like, "Tell me about your new book you're reading or something." And I just started talking. I feel a little pinch, and then that was it. And it's not physically the needle like, oh, it hurts so bad. It's mentally, if I see the needle, I pass out. If I see blood, I pass out. So I'm really, really a lightweight. So for me, it's more of, I just don't want to see it. I don't want you to tell me about it. I don't want to talk about it. Anytime I go to my doctor for blood, the nurse will come in and say, "Oh, we got to do blood work." I'm like, "All right, I'm just going to sit here and close my eyes and just don't talk to me. Just do it. Don't tell me what you're doing. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but if you talk about it, I'm going to get sick. If I open my eyes and see a needle, I'm going to get sick. I can't even watch that shit on television in a movie. No, thank you." So, no, I have always been the worst. My brother had his wisdom teeth pulled, and me and my mom had to pick him up at the doctor's. And as we're walking in, he's sitting there. The nurse takes the gauze out of his mouth, and it's just covered in blood. And my brother starts laughing because he knows what's going to happen. And man, boom! I hit my head. I fell so hard on that ground, passed out, hit my head. And then they carried me to the bathroom, and I just sat in the corner of the bathroom, and I was just like nauseous for like half an hour. Oh, it was just brutal. I've always been like that. Anytime I got cut as a kid, I would see it and I would pass out. If I'm in the shower shaving my head and I feel the cut and I'm like blood and I just close my eyes and I'm just like, "Shelly, help, help," and then she's got to come in and then she puts a band-aid on me and then I can finish what I'm doing. Yeah, that is never ever going to change. I'm manly in a lot of ways. I mean, like I'm super. Like to look at me, you'd think I'm super manly with everything, But I have a low threshold of pain when it comes to needles or anything like that. I've been I've been I've been in a lot of fights in my life. I've gotten the shit kicked out of me a lot of times. I've also beaten people up a lot of times, and that doesn't bother me. Getting hit does not bother me. I'd rather I didn't get hit. And I'm not saying like I'm Tyson. I can take a hit, but I can take it a lot more than like if you came at me and you're like, "Listen, we're gonna hold you down. I'm gonna punch you in the face repeatedly, or I'm gonna put this needle in you." I'd be like, "No, just punch me in the face." That's life. That's what people say. You know, you're riding high on Monday, shut down in May. I don't know if they really say that, or if David Lee Roth just says that. Whew. All right, I'm wrapping this. I'm wrapping this bad boy up. Tomorrow. So here's the deal. I'm hoping to get more of this written this afternoon, but I also have other things to do. I have a list of things to do. Okay. First off, I took a shower. Let me cross that off. Take this needle or we kill your wife. What are you doing? You know what? I can get another wife. I've had a couple more in the past. That I would probably take the needle. Because well, if I let her die, then I'm useless anyway. I got to do some research, more research for the Negro League thing that I'm doing tomorrow night. Even though it's 20 minutes, my wife is telling me not to wing it like I do with everything else. So I'm going to actually do some research. I got to read some of the Derringer short stories, and give my scores on those. That's not due till March 31st, but I want to get them done. There's 33 stories. I haven't read any of them. Finished Down and Dirty 4, which I'm trying to do. I got to do my Beers and Fears edit. I got to do the High Tide edit. Then I got to send it to Tom to do the formatting. Then when Tom sends it back, I got to put that ebook and print version up and ready to go. Oh, and I also have to send Frank the Shocker box set file, and that you can clean that thing up because it's a mess. So these are the things I'm going to get to. So Frank, look for that in the next day or two. I'm going to send that off because we're leaving money on the table with that. I can see you screaming, "Still the needle, but don't tell me about it to your captors." Yeah. Yeah, if like I was captured in war or something, I'd be like, "What do you want to know? I don't want you to torture me. Like if." And they'd be like, "All right, cut his finger off," and I'm like, "All right, I'm just gonna pass out immediately. Not even from the pain, just from seeing the blood." They'd be walking towards me with a needle. They do that squirt thing that you see in all the movies, and then boom, I'm out. Like we didn't even touch him yet. Yeah, he passed out. I've never, knock on wood, I've never had surgery. 55 years old, never had surgery in my life. Nothing. Never broke a bone. Nothing. I'm like Bruce Willis in that movie, where he's shipwrecked on the island with the basketball. Next page, Mr. Frank. Next page. All right, everybody. It's fun. Again, please resubscribe. Please follow me on the YouTube. Please. Please. What are you doing? Why is it flipping out? Weird. All right, everybody. Until next time. I might see you tomorrow. I definitely will see you on Wednesday, though. Wednesday, we're going to have a ball. It's going to be a treat.